You know, there was a time I wasn't so cynical about the Elder Scrolls Online. My content used to be about memes and ganking. But over the last year or so, my thoughts and opinion on this game have gone steadily down, just like the population who play this game. And it wasn't just one thing, it was a multitude of different things. From being called a crybaby because the product I bought doesn't work, to devs straight up not listening to us and lying.
If it was as simple as add more RAM or add more servers, we would have done that a long time ago.
And just the general corporate greed which is associated with this game now is kind of soul destroying.
I understand that some people don't like the stuff that we do, but you don't have to buy it, right? You don't have to go in and say, hey, you know, you're taking advantage of new players because they don't know.
But have I lost hope? Have I lost hope in this game being better than it is now and better than it was? No. Not yet, anyway. So this video, although it may seem dull and gloomy to start with, this is actually a video about hope. Hoping that maybe it's not too late to save the Elder Scrolls Online. A lot of people will simply just not believe me when I say that the Elder Scrolls Online is dying, even though there's Steam charts, Twitch charts, and everything else to go for it to say that it is.
But Sawman, how can a game be dead with 20 million players?
Hello to everybody back home.
Congrats on 20 million players.
Bullshit.
If you believe that the 21 million players are actually real, then you're probably also the sort of person to believe that if you don't subscribe to me right now, you're gonna step on Lego. I won't bore you too much with free-to-play and bot accounts inflating player numbers. In fact, if you want to hear about this, leave 69 likes and I'll consider doing a video. But listen, I don't want to be a Debbie Downer. This is a story of hope, revival, praise the Lord, let's save the Elder Scrolls Online. So let's begin by addressing one of the biggest problems I think the Elder Scrolls has, and that is, of course, the difficulty. Before anyone loses their proverbial shit, let me clarify. When it comes to overland content, delves, group dungeons, world bosses, they're just too easy. It doesn't take long after level 50 to outgrow the base mechanics of this game. As a new player to the game, you'll soon realise that mobs and ads are scaled to your level, and that is of course up until you get to rank 160. After that, it's very boring and bland and zone dependent, like everything just sort of flatlines. There is nothing to really encourage you to get better as a player. And the reason this becomes a problem is because any quest you do, any zone you go to, it's just too easy. There's no fun to be had. There once was a time that Craglon was like the bet level content of the game, and it was just scary being around there. And now, yeah, not so much. Imagine the level of engagement this game would get if quests were actually difficult. Rather than being a solo fetch quest, all of a sudden you would need to actually bring your friends along, make it an MMO, and just have a better sense of adventure, rather than the sloppy design that it is now. So my first proposal is to make the game more difficult. And we've already seen with games like Elden Ring, this isn't a bad thing, it actually draws in a good crowd. Every new story the Elder Scrolls release is around the world ending. But how are you supposed to believe that when you can go around and one-shot everything? New World has some of the hardest overland content I have seen. Like other games, yes, it scales up as you go zone to zone, but you get to a point where it gets above your level, which means there's actually a greater cause to call in for help and have other people around you to fight the bad guys. But hey, if you don't want to touch overland content, how about you revitalize your old dungeons? Games like World of Warcraft and once again New World have it so that dungeons can actually scale up. There could be 10 different variations of the same dungeon, but each one getting gradually harder. Think of it as a plus dungeon. The fact is, these dungeons have just become stagnant. They haven't evolved with the game. As the power creep has set in, these dungeons have become stupidly easy and almost embarrassing. I won't talk about this one too much because I've already done a couple of videos around the monetization of this game, but essentially make the content more rewarding. If I go pick 1000 Columbine, go give me a new fucking outfit or something. Stop putting stuff in crown crates. It's stupidly easy to make people want to play this fucking game. Just reward them for their achievements with something more than a title. Give them actual mounts and stuff. We know you have the manpower to do this, so why not just, you know, give us a few freebies? Stop fucking putting them in crates. Simple. With every DLC, with every chapter release, there's always a new set being added to the game. Useless fucking sets. Whilst this might be seen as nice new content to indulge in, for the most part, 90% of the sets that they seem to add are quite literally dog shit.
What's your profanity?
There's a meta for a reason, and that's because everything else is just subpar. Rather than adding new sets into the game, just an idea, how about you revitalize some of the old sets? There's so much out there which just generally does have no use in the game anymore. They seem to be put in there as more of a fucking meme than anything. But if you actually went back, looked at what we currently have and make it up to fucking scratch and put it on a new level, as opposed to just dumbing shit down and adding stuff for the sake of it, I feel like people would enjoy that much more than just you regurgitating shite. I generally feel like this game invented the term change fatigue. Every 3 months is a balancing act. A class gets buffed, a class gets nerfed, a skill becomes overpowered, a set becomes overpowered. Why the fuck do you have to tinker so much? How are we 8 years into the game and you still can't sort out your combat? It blows my mind that you have to change everything so often. And the fucking one time that we actually need a change, you guys sit there and do nothing. Stop making such radical changes. Stop flip-flopping on what you do. Like, just decide what you want to do and just fucking stick with it. I speak for everyone when I say this gets fucking tiresome beyond belief. Sort your shit out. The dirtiest acronym in the Elder Scrolls Online is PvP. So bad is this acronym that it even gets banned from the Bethesda streams. The fact is, your PvP community has been hanging on for so long, hoping and waiting for some sort of new content, and still you dick them over. I could spend 40 minutes sat here ranting about how shit PvP content is and how the PvP community's trust has been broken by lies told by the devs. But I won't. Instead, I'll leave you with this thought. If you take PvP away from this game, what effect do you think it would have on the overall community? Who do you think are buying all these sets, running all these dungeons, repeating old content to try and make the best build possible? Is it the people who have the same meta build from 5 patches ago? Or is it the people who are having to constantly change up what they do just to be even competitive in PvP? And furthermore, which players do you think are the ones who are buying all the crown crates? Do you think it's the ones who are going around flower picking and running around from place to place? Or do you think it's the people who are having to play Horse Simulator and Cyrodiil and want to show off their mounts? But hey, what do I know? It's not like competitive gaming is even popular.
Yo, who is this? Are you calling me?
I am doing a video about how Elder Scrolls Online could be saved. I've already got a few ideas of my own, but because I'm a whiny little bitch and no one listens to me, I thought it'd be good to throw out some other content creator ideas out there.
The best way to make ESO healthy again, I guess is the best way to say it, to have it be like a healthy MMO, is to listen to feedback from the players that know what they're talking about, and get that conversation rolling before the PTS, and not introduce so many 180 degree changes. Like, introduce one thing and then completely go back the other way. Introduce another thing, go completely back the other way. Because what's happening right now is there's just a seesaw of changes that are, frankly, it's just annoying to deal with.
Like, I haven't farmed new gear in a while because it's like I'm tired of like farming it, and then we're gonna nerf it now because we realized it was stupid before, but we needed to sell copies of this DLC or whatever,
The last 2 patches have just been, not very good, and you can see it. You can see it with the population where people are just like, you know what? I'm not playing this game. I'm not playing this game. I don't know how much of it is like just the game itself and how much of it is people just at their wits' end dealing with the constant changes, having to constantly go through things. But
I've actually taken a break from ESO. I'm just so burnt out. Like, I'm not having fun in PvP. I'm not having fun in PvE. Heck, I'm not even having fun playing card games anymore. There's no one to challenge. I'll play the Tales of Tribute like once every few days to maintain leaderboard, and that's it.
Make more stuff available, like achievable in game, because there's a lot of people that don't play this for that reason.
Yeah.
They say like everything that's cool looking is behind a paywall, but I know they need to make money, but it's also like, well, bringing more people to the game that, you know, not everybody, you know, can afford some of that stuff because it's pretty expensive, some of it.
Right. Maybe, I don't know, earning mounts or something for doing PvP activities. You know, earning gear's fine, but the gear's like, meh. You know what I mean? Like, it's not, doesn't make me excited. Cosmetics. More cosmetics for PvP.
And in general, like, Overland PvE is way too easy. A lot of the dungeons, not all of it, like hard modes or whatever, but it's just like a lot of the content is just so easy. It's so easy to do, and it feels like they're catering to newer players because that's the people that they're drawing in all the time. But there's no system designed to teach players to progress them, and because there's no system designed to help progress them, they're constantly introducing all this stuff where it's like, oh yeah, you know, you can wear no gear and you can go into Overland and you can kill bosses and stuff, and you can buy the new chapter and enjoy, you know, the nostalgia of Morrowind and all these other games that came out 20 years ago, but they're not adding on to it. They're not improving and allowing players to progress. And then because of that, they don't have to do more challenging content. And because they're not doing more challenging content, endgame players are getting kind of bored. It's like, okay, well, we have this endgame this, we have hard mode this, and that's basically all we have.
They fill in all the gaps with the classes with gear, it seems, you know, like they just, like sometimes the gear makes the class. Like how many, like, would there be bomb necros without dark convergence?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, why do they all have to have dark convergence? Oh, I just killed the guy. I'm in the game, by the way. Just logged in real quick. But yeah, I think too gear dependent, too much gear. And for one, if they're gonna put new gear in, they need to give us more bag or bank space.
The whole be what you want, the hybridized system, class identity's dead. So every man and his dog has a bloody resto bar. And you run around in groups of 4 and you resto bar. You just like rapid regen. It's fucked. It's like, oh cool, I just ganked someone, but I missed my auto attack. They have 5% health. And then 4 people just like back by and rapid regen. I'm like, oh awesome. They're fully healed.
I feel like they need to restore some goodwill with the community and actually start doing things for the players, because the players are happy and they're playing your game. The more people playing your game, you know, typically leads to more money into their pockets instead of having to, you know, come out with a card game and come out with broken sets in a DLC that, you know, you wouldn't buy otherwise, but the things are so broken now you feel like you want to buy it. Yeah, I just feel like it feels very cash grabby right now, and I think players are noticing that, and that's what's going on.
I whine too much. Do people just think I'm always going to complain?
I thought you were doing the drama channel. I thought you were...
Yeah, well, yeah, you know.
I thought you were going to do both. I thought...
I'll get to my ideas.
And boring build video. I can't even say it.
I might do a boring build video, but all my builds are the same at the minute. It's just
you should do it like, but really super monotone. Like,
this is my bow.
Like sound
build.
like Eeyore. Yeah.
It's so good. It kills enemies. Oh my god! Look at this guy.
Chances are you won't be able to get your heal off anyway. So why even put it on the bar?
You're gonna try and snipe him, but you're probably gonna fail.
Yeah, it probably won't work anyway. He'll probably have some ridiculous tankiness set. Whatever.
Oh look, it's another tank and Cyrodiil. For me, this year's chapter has been the worst to date. It was just very lackluster and didn't really hit the mark on what can be achieved with this game. I'm hoping next year's chapter improves massively and actually has some decent content. But I've rambled on for long enough, so I'm going to end the video here. But by all means, I'd love to hear your thoughts on this, so please comment below, good or bad, I want to hear it. And with that, I'll catch you in the next one. Bye bye.